right, let's move out of Disney and let's hop over to Universal. Mummies. Revenge of the Mummies.
This is a good one. And it's very tough. It's very tough. This is the one that I feel like it shouldn't be that tough. They're actually very different.
Yes.
Universal really went for two pretty different takes on the same ride. Supposedly, it was space limitations in California and Hollywood that really played into that. I'm not so sure, though, that they also just didn't want to try a bit of all the ideas that they maybe had on the table from the very start of designing the attraction, where they had a list of things they wanted to do or possible things they could do, and they said, well, we're doing two versions anyway, so why don't we'll get to them all between the two, because it seems a little more like that than, I'm sure space limitations had something to do with it. It is a smaller warehouse, for sure, in Hollywood. But it's a little more than that. It's actual different choices they made, and they're both really fun. I don't know. What do you think?
The Florida one was the one that I had done first, and that one I liked for a long time over the Hollywood one. But the last time we did the Hollywood one, I really liked it, and I think I like it a little better. It is really close. I mean, really, I want to combine the two and take the best elements from both of them. But Hollywood's it's a little more to the point. Kind of cuts to the chase a little bit more. And I kind of like that. Well, with the queues, I think Florida's is definitely better, right? Is there a lot more going on?
Yes. I want to say yes.
The walk-up is just better in Florida, too. Hollywood, it's like you could totally miss it. The entrance to Mummy.
It's almost like there is no front of the warehouse.
It's really weird, yeah.
It's just like you enter the rear of a warehouse.
Yeah. You just kind of enter through the back door, and
they forgot to put a facade.
Right, and the theme starts as soon as you walk inside the building. And yeah, that's interesting too, how with Hollywood they went for right from the start, you are in the Mummy world, universe. And with Florida, it's like you start like you're on a movie set, or
you're touring the movie set of the Mummy.
And then it segues very poorly into you're actually in the world of the Mummy movie.
And then goes back again.
And then it goes back again.
It can't make up its mind.
It doesn't make any sense. It's actually amazing that the ride works as well as it does, because it's really a mess. If you
really think about it, yes.
Yeah. See, Hollywood doesn't have that issue, really. Because they're saying, as soon as you step inside this building, you are in the Mummy world. And that's it. We're not going to jerk you around back and forth.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's just the actual ride. Oh, the arms are pretty cool in the beginning of Hollywood's, and
yeah, I really like that effect.
That works. It's better than the animatronic mummy in the beginning of Florida's.
It's a good attempt, but it doesn't quite.
It just moves kind of awkwardly.
It's too fast, too jerky. Yeah. And you can still kind of see the arms that it comes in on, and
you can totally
goes back out on. You see the arms attached to the back. It's not, just the actual metal arms, not the mummy's arms.
Yeah, the arm that's like stuck to the back of the
holding it up and
like
shoving it out in your face and then taking it back.
Yeah,
it's kind of weak. The guy with the ball cap on is kind of,
and that's another thing that's. Where you go back and forth between Mummy World and the movie set thing, where the first, I don't know how many times I rode that ride, I had no idea what that person in the baseball cap was supposed to be, who that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It took me like 7 or 8 rides before you told me finally.
Yeah, you still didn't get it. You still wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
I had to tell you. Okay.
And then, Hollywood then, just kind of, after you turn that corner, I think what you go up the incline and you launch pretty much.
Is that it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it kind of just it goes right to it. I don't think there's that room
they didn't
where
do the
it's,
room with all the
all this can be
flames
yours.
and
You know, if you join me.
first the treasure, then it comes evil for a second with where it's just it's kind of too much of a screen.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I
It's not
don't
a
think
good
that room
effect.
is that great.
No, it's not. When the mummy's army, I guess, his minions, whatever those guys are, they're too static. They're just
Well, they don't move at all.
they just pop up.
Yeah,
But they're just mannequins.
right.
So it's stupid.
See, yeah, I like in Hollywood how you're launching, and then towards the end of the launch, those guard guys with the swords,
army guy-
come
they
down
just-
from the
they
ceiling.
fly in.
All of a sudden.
But you're going already kind of picking up speed, so you really can't dwell on the fact that they're just mannequins, static. Yeah, and then you just launch right up, and then you just get into it.
Yeah, and that mummy animatronic that is on the top of the hill that you're launching towards, you're far enough away that it looks really good.
Yeah, and you're constantly moving,
Yeah.
quickly.
So I really love that, actually. I think
Yeah.
it's very well done.
And then they did a backwards coaster section, which is really the finale.
Yeah,
They give you half of a indoor in the dark coaster forward, and then the second half of it is backwards.
I guess the one thing that I really wish that the Hollywood version had was the fake ending.
Yeah. So really, it comes down to that. If Hollywood had that, it would be a hands down.
Yeah, the way Hollywood ends that version is actually really awkward and kind of dumb, where you just go onto a turntable that turns you around and puts you right back into the station. It makes you think that there is going to be another section of coaster or something.
Or a final scene.
Yeah, and then it just ends really abruptly,
Yeah.
which is not good. But up until that point, it is very good.
Yeah. So neither version is perfect.
So yeah, like I said, you kind of need to do both to get the full experience.
Because they did do backwards in Florida, but it's literally for a moment, and it's not a coaster. It's not an action section. It's just you hit the dead end, the bug gag, and then you just back up slowly for a little short section, and then hit a turntable and get turned back straight again. I do love the launch into the mummy's mouth, though. That's cool, though.
Yeah,
And that's where I was talking at the beginning about. It's like they had the two different. Well, you launch. They both launch on an incline, right? So they knew they wanted that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, we could do a projection thing, and you launch into his mouth.
That is cool.
But then they also thought like, oh, but maybe we could have an animatronic, and it's more like the mummy, the man, so to speak, there. And then it's like, well, we'll do one way, and then another one the other way. So we can have the best of all of our ideas. And then it's up to the audience to decide what they like better. And it is really hard to decide. Because they
Yeah.
are both good ideas and they both work.
I think most people like the Florida one better, is the vibe I get.
And that's the first.
They both opened the same year.
Okay, so it really was two halves of the same ride. You really do have to ride both. It really... Okay, we'll build this half on this coast and the other half on the other coast.
Yeah.
Like, they really kind of did do that. So did we decide? Well, you did, I guess.
I would say Hollywood. Like,
Oh.
it is close.
So then I have to say
But I
I
would say
have to
Hollywood.
say Florida, just so we can have the split.
Okay.
Because it really is. I mean, it really has to be. I can't ignore that really awesome fake station. So that has to be split.
All right. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park River Adventure is Islands. Jurassic Park The Ride is Universal Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Well, the thing that sticks out of my mind is the Jeep drop versus the Raptor cage drop. Just before you enter the building, each one has a drop gag where you think for a second that something's going to drop on top of you, but it's one of the Jeeps ironically from the well, no, is it? That's not supposed to be one of the ride Jeeps
From like the,
from the scene where the T-Rex
Yeah.
knocks it off and the kid's inside.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's really ironic because the ride itself should have been that.
That's
You
right.
should have been in one of those yourself.
Should have been.
And then another one was going to maybe be thrown on top of you. Instead, you're on a river, on a raft for some reason.
That's right.
And then they're actually acknowledging, though, that like that Jeep ride from the movie does exist somewhere out of sight from the river.
I get. You know what? That is a really funny thing.
I've actually never thought about this until this very moment. But that's what they did in what was the original Jurassic Park ride,
Yeah.
which is the one in Hollywood.
So in the context of that ride, in the world of that ride,
Jurassic Park, the
that
ride.
Jeep ride exists somewhere.
Yes. Not too far from this
the
other
boat you're
ride,
on.
this boat ride that you're on. So it exists, you're just not on it. You took the boat ride instead. Maybe it was cheaper.
Oh, that's weird.
And one of the Jeeps from that ride, I guess the T-Rex that got out, like in the movie, had like overturned the Jeep and now was shoving it over the side of a wall that you're floating past. And it comes down and then almost would sort of come on top of you if it could. It's a little bit mechanical.
Okay, so between
It's not that good. It was really
Jeep-
slow, and it's really too slow and awkward the way it falls.
So do you like the Raptor?
And you see the
cage?
cable. You see the cable that's going to eventually help pull it back up.
Okay, so you like Raptor cage fall better then?
I kind of do because it works. It works better. It's just there. It's it's the Raptors in their transport cage box thing crate shaking, and then just at the right moment, just right when you go under it, it drops like 2 feet. And it's simpler. The Jeep seems cooler on paper for sure, but when you really look at them both, the Raptor gag just works better.
Yeah.
And it really waits until you're right under it
yeah,
to drop.
I used to like the Jeep drop better, but yeah, I'm with you with the Raptor cage. It's an effect that's just physically closer to you also.
Yeah, the Jeep is
I think
kind of more
helps.
removed off to the side.
Yeah, like you were saying, in theory the Jeep drop should clearly be the better one, but it's just too clunky and
Yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't
really have the impact that it should have.
Yeah, it's clearly defying gravity. It's too fake. It's too
Well,
fake
yeah.
looking. It's not the way an object that size would fall.
That, and then you could see the giant track that it's on. That really doesn't help.
Yeah. All right. And then the other big difference is what the end. T-Rex at the end.
The T-Rex finale. The Islands version, the T-Rex that you encounter right before the final big drop is you just see his head, neck, and 2 arms, and the T-Rex appears
Way early.
like a bunch before you get that close to it, and it follows you down as you
drop.
So in the Hollywood one, the T-Rex pops out right before you drop. But I think the Hollywood one, it just doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Because they did like almost the entire body of the T-Rex, but it's floating in midair. Like when it pops up. So it just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And you can see it coming, up from its rest position with its head down. You could see it sitting there, and then eventually pops up, and then you see the whole body, and it's like, wait, it's just floating in midair, and the whole thing really just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So those are the two things that are gonna make or break each version.
Yeah.
And so Florida's got it. It's got them
goes to
both.
Florida. Yeah.
Well, the Hollywood one was first.
Yeah. I think actually the whole building section is darker. I want to say too in Florida.
You can't. It's pitch black.
Yeah. Look at the yeah. It's a little too bright in Hollywood. Which one is that? Wait a minute.
That's Hollywood.
All right, it's much better. I think the whole thing is much better.
Like, what are holding any of these dinosaurs? So the Hollywood one, all of the dinosaurs are kind of floating in midair. It doesn't make any sense how any of them are standing, or in one case, one raptor is laying on a stomach. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that Hollywood
it's really
version.
bright. It's too bright.
Oh no, Hollywood has
Oh,
that.
you see the T-Rex earlier though too.
But that's not good.
Yeah, like why spoil it? So that's another thing.
Oh wow, so they really
But they really improved it.
they really
the second
improved.
time
That's
around.
the better way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
and
there were a lot of problems with the Hollywood one that they
it's actually
really smoothed
more
out.
than we realized at first. Yeah, and so in Florida, the T-Rex is near because he throws his claws up and scratches the side of the wall of the building that you're in. So it's ominous, but you don't see him until it's time. That's hands down more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were...
I'm glad we researched that one.
Yeah, I thought it was like the Mummies, where it was some elements were better on one ride than on the other,
But in this case, not really. It's like
yeah.
all Florida better. There you go.
All right. This one's a stretch. Backdraft and Twister. It's like the same ride concept.
I kind of the same. Which one I call them? Sister attractions, or completely different theme.
Yeah.
So this is the standing
Special
special effects
effects
demonstration show. The it's 2 pre-show rooms and a finale room, or a main effects room
Yeah.
kind of thing. Other than that, though, they're based on entirely different movies, and they both have entirely different effects.
So do you like fire better, or do you like wind and rain better?
Yeah, almost water. It was almost fire versus water, but not quite. It's more wind and the tornado.
So what would you take?
I
I mean, Backdraft is not around anymore. But
Twister is? You're kidding.
yeah, still going.
All right, this is gonna be
This is really
It's gonna be Universal's version of Jungle Cruise. Somewhere, Dick Universal is rolling over in his grave. You haven't taken out that fucking Twister thing yet? God damn it. Ghostbusters got like 3 years, and this has got like 20? What
yeah.
the hell is that about?
And it's been rumored to be on the chopping block for a long time
Forever,
too.
for at least 10 years at this
Yeah.
point. Who? I don't know. My gut is to go with Backdraft. It was just cooler. It was simpler, admittedly. They definitely were trying to go for more with Twister, in the fact that they actually were trying to create a funnel cloud effect that could happen and rehappen. That could be produced like once every whatever it is, 20 minutes or not even 10 minutes or something. It's a pretty short demonstration, right? It's only 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So by the time the next people load in, whatever, it's probably maybe every 12 minutes or so. And that was a tall order. So it's kind of cool that they even tried that. They took that task on. Just doing fire is, I'm sure, much simpler. It's just a matter of where to put the gas jets and just have them programmed to go off and on at different times just to make the whole fire scene go. The only thing with that probably is safety would be a bigger concern. Making sure that that building is entirely fireproof so that it couldn't go up for real. But it's another case where simpler just works better, because it was just so impressive to have your face just about melted off.
Yeah, it was
As
very hot.
As you just stood there right in front of this huge fire demonstration. Twister, it's a couple fun moments, couple cool moments when the drive-in sign blows back because it's really quick.
Yeah.
And that's convincing, but the funnel cloud isn't great. It's pretty weak at best. And come on, the cowl on cables. That's really
You don't like that?
That's really goofy. So I got to give it to the now defunct Backdraft.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I want to say Backdraft.
I do like Twister though. I do like it.
Really the only thing that's holding me up on Twister
Bill
is
Paxton, isn't it? The pose. It's the pose, man.
oh, that pose.
Show the pose. Show the people out there the pose.
All right. Check it out. Look at your screen.
Show them the pose. That's a great pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with that, and just Bill Paxton in general, and actually the really creepy and cool post-tornado second room.
Yeah, that is cool.
The pre-show portions are actually better on Twister.
Yes.
It's almost like
they
I like the
are,
pre-show
definitely.
better on Twister for sure, but then the main show of Backdraft still works better for me. So it's a split in that way for me.
The only reason why I hesitate and it's not clear for me, is the last time we did Twister, I had a really good time because there was nobody there. It was us and like maybe 2 other people.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5
So
people total.
we had it was almost like a private showing of that attraction. It was really awesome to experience it that way because we got to be in the front row. We had the whole place to ourselves, so we can kind of move around a little, not run back and forth, but we could kind of lean and see everything as much as we wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good memory I have of that ride. But I'll give it to Backdraft. I mean, Fire is cooler. The movie is not better, though. I think I like Twister better than Backdraft.
Ooh. Actually, yes.
I don't think
I agree.
Backdraft is not a very good movie.
Backdraft is a cheese fest.
Not that Twister is great, but it is really fun.
They're both cheese fests, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, Twister is the better cheese fest.
Yeah.
It's more entertaining cheese fest. Better cheese.
Yeah, better cheese.
It's cheddar. To Backdraft's American. So it goes to Fire. I'm a little fire, Scarecrow. Come on, couldn't let it go by without saying that once.
This one I forgot to include with our Disney stuff.
Uh-oh.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye or Dinosaur?
Oh, well, yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this is not difficult.
That is the first time around, and it just works a lot better. It's a lot more fun. It's a theme I can sink my teeth into.
Yeah, I love the Indiana Jones theme. The dinosaur theme is okay. One of the loudest attractions I've ever been on.
The loudest attractions Disney's ever produced.
Yeah, Dinosaur is just... They really need to turn the volume down.
No, you got to keep it. I like it.
I mean...
Yeah, that's what makes it great.
I know it makes you sound like an old man, but it is
I know.
extremely loud.
Crotchety old man over here. No, I like it, though. That's what makes it. It's loud and dark.
And it is extremely dark in there.
It's
hard to see anything.
It literally is, for the most part, a ride of sound. Because there isn't a huge amount of visuals during a lot of the ride.
Yeah, the best one is when the T-Rex follows your car alongside of it.
Yeah, well, the Carnus, they didn't go T-Rex, I guess, because of trying to be a little different than Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
and
whatever giant
it was
dinosaur.
the Carnosaur, is that what it is, I believe?
I don't know, like the movie?
Oh, is that the movie?
Yeah.
Is it? What is it then? It's something like that. It's something like that, whatever.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
doesn't.
That's really the only, really impressive part of that ride. The rest of it is okay.
All right, whatever. Disneyland, Indiana Jones is better. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Dinosaur, definitely not our dino.
Right. Let's briefly go to a couple of the parks that aren't Disney or Universal. What about the Journey to Atlantis? Now, there are actually 3 of these.
Yeah, there are. In name. There's 3 attractions that carry that name.
So the first was Orlando, right?
Yes, it's a pretty clean-cut lineage of deterioration. Every time they did it again, it got worse.
Yeah.
It got cheaper, lamer.
And that last
Shorter.
version in San Antonio is... I can't even believe they actually did that. Just a bare bones ride outside with nothing else.
Yeah, it started out really cool in Orlando, and that's definitely the best one. SeaWorld
yeah.
Orlando. It's a fully realized experience. A fully realized dark ride, shoot the chutes with a slight coaster part. It's like really awesome. And then it's much stripped down, but has a couple cool elements when they did the second one in San Diego.
Yeah, they
SeaWorld
kept
San
some of the
Diego.
dark ride elements.
Kept some of the dark ride elements. They actually went heavier on the coaster element. This is more of a half and half. But if they were going to do it, the coaster needed to be inside. It definitely needed to be coaster in a warehouse in the dark. Because it's all just coaster outside. And that's not very good. The elevator is cool.
That is.
Elevator lift. It's done really well. It's got some effect. Some like sway effect that goes on while you're going up. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Only time I've ever experienced that. And then by the time they got to Texas, the one they put in SeaWorld San Antonio, yeah, it's just a joke.
Yep.
You know, it's a nice station and nice boats.
Yeah.
It's just one step shy of just the 60-foot up and downer Intamin shoot the shoots
Yeah.
or Hopkins. It's got a little coaster thing on top, but a couple turntables, but it's not much.
No, it adds nothing to the ride.
No, it doesn't. And then not very wet either. I remember, right?
Yeah.
It's also the driest of all three.
I remember. Well, it was, of course, it's Texas, so it's hot as hell. And
Yeah.
we wanted to get wet. We
Yeah.
were looking forward to it.
We didn't.
And it didn't happen.
Didn't deliver. You got like a couple splashes. That was it. Yeah, that ride's a failure all around, now that I think about it. Oh, that's not very good. All right. So there's three of those. That's a triplet series
Yeah.
and a trilogy, if you will. But the first one was the best. That goes to Orlando.
The Houdinis.
Yeah, the Houdini.
There's one at Six Flags New England, one at Six Flags Great Adventure. I mean, they're almost the same.
Almost.
Which one has the table? Is that
Okay. All right. So then, yes, these were installed the same year, I believe. It's 1999. I know it was 99, and we just did this. We should know.
Yeah, both 99.
All right. So both the same year. But I'm pretty sure it was like the second or third season, and they gave Great Adventure a little bit of an upgrade. So they changed the idea of it a little bit because they changed the whole story of the ride. It's Houdini's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. Like he's.
I remember that,
It's a
yeah.
Poseidon's Fury kind of thing where they changed that after a couple of years. It's kind of like that. It's almost the same thing that they did there. It's
turn the bad guy good.
And the same year too, 1999 and then like 2000, 2001. It's like at the same time. Yeah, where Houdini was the bad guy, but then and then it was Marjorie, who was the psychic that's taking you through this experience. That's helping you out. She's the one who was taking you through in the first place, and then she's helping you out. Then in the changed version in Great Adventure and still today is like this. It's Houdini becomes the good guy. Marjorie becomes the bad guy. She becomes the villain. So it's just like a total change. And what they did was they did the Madame Leota. They used that effect on that table in front of the lamp and it doesn't work.
Oh, that's the other thing.
It's the added. It's supposed to be. It's like Houdini is there in like a crystal ball.
right.
The head,
right.
the internal projection effect that he's gonna be talking to you during the ride. But that worked for like 1 or 2 seasons when they first did that, and then it hasn't worked ever since. And I think the crystal ball might even be gone at this point. I mean, it's just the lamp now. It may not even be on the table anymore. Now that I think about it,
Okay.
I haven't looked for it in a bit. And New England was always just ran the same show, still does. But neither one changes the actual experience. It's just the rotating drum ride. I just feel like New England is very dry. I like it in Great Adventure better.
Okay.
So Great Adventure's better.
I'll say Great Adventure.
They added
too,
some like
sure.
spotlighting and they added like a better musical track. All right, Great Adventure gets it. Our very own Six Flags Great Adventure.
The Boo Blasters.
Oh boy, well, it's like 10 of those.
But it's like, yeah.
All right.
Just going from memory real quick. I think we remember who had the best one. Remember we like Carowinds. We like
Carowinds we liked a lot.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't remember why, but I remember liking Carowinds the best.
Yeah, for some reason. We've done King's Dominions. We've done King's Islands. King's Island has the unique distinction. It has an Omnimover because of the pre-existing attraction. It actually has a Haunted Mansion ripoff Omnimover and Doom Buggies. It's a little different. And I think, yeah, the one that got us the best was Carowinds. So there you go. Go figure, but there you go. I just know I had that really good cartoon conveyor belt effect. It was like the Boo Elixir or whatever whatever it was that's supposed to like keep the ghosts away and it was like they would go by on like a shaky conveyor belt, bobbing up and down. It looked really good, and that effect worked the best on that ride. I think they also had a couple of really good poppers.
Okay.
A couple really good scare moments versus the other ones didn't have that as good. They were either too slow or not working or whatever it was.
All right.
So that goes to Carowinds.
And that's really all I got. I mean,
all right.
There
Well,
are,
that's plenty.
yeah. I mean, there's Soarin', but those rides are identical. It's if you want to talk about Q, that's a different thing.
Nah, barbecue.
The
That's another episode.
the Universal Hollywood Tram Tour, the Earthquake and Jaws sections, versus the full blown rides. It's the full blown rides are gonna win. So I don't know if that's really even worth talking about.
Yeah. Well, it could be another episode. Maybe another time.
And there's a few rides that are, again, like Soarin'. Well, T2's gone now in Hollywood, but even the Despicable Me's and the Shreks and Simpsons, etc. So that's what we got. That's where we're stopping, drawing the line, at least for now, until we run out of material.
Yeah, and if you think of any that we haven't mentioned, let us know.
Yeah, right in. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. So, thanks for riding.
Start me up. You got to start me up.